Treatment had no effect, rules out endometriosis, and her hair sample was negative for residue drugs.
This woman lived in the fast lane till 6 months ago. Maybe we're missing something.
She admitted drug use. Doubt she's holding out on her days as an asbestos miner.
Cryoglobulinemia might account for the symptoms.
Except for the one you missed.
Well, there's no change in her condition.
I'm not talking about a new symptom. I'm talking about one that presented 6 months ago.
Look, she's nuts, but we can't just give her 10 cc's of atheism and send her home.
Religion is a symptom of irrational belief and groundless hope. Altered mental status, on the other hand, is a symptom of porphyria.
She didn't develop uncontrollable anger, crying, anxiety. She just decided to go to temple.
The woman didn't just choose to keep kosher. She went directly to the extremes of Hasidism, a life of stringent rules. She became a masochist.
She didn't like her old life, so she changed it.
People don't change. They might want to, they even need to.
Taub gave up a 6-figure plastic surgery career for this job. That mean he has porphyria?
He switched jobs to save his marriage. He did it to avoid change.
He's right. You don't suddenly choose crazy without suddenly being crazy.
No, if she walked away from everything to go base jumping or live with apes, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
We would if she was also tinkling blood out of her overexcited bladder. Pump Hadassah full of hematin and give her a phlebotomy.
Bloodletting?
Porphyria is a rare genetic disorder that causes an overproduction of a certain protein. Draining the blood relieves...
A hair test for damage from drugs showed she has a rare genetic disease?
No, not exactly. We're testing her now to confirm.
You're treating it before you confirm it?
Blood test results take 24 hours.
You must have seen something that makes you suspect it.
Dr. House has a theory.
A theory based on what?
We'd like a different doctor.
I assure you that Dr. House is our best.
Then we will settle for second best. Someone who doesn't think my wife is sick just because she's religious.
If you prefer, I can give your wife my second best diagnosis. Do you know Wilson's dating Amber?
I have reviewed the chart. Someone on your team must have pointed out that cryoglobulinemia also fits the symptoms.
Yes, it fits many of the symptoms.
My wife's body is sick. Her mind and soul are fine.
You live according to God's 600 commandments, right?
613.
You understand them all?
Takes a lifetime of learning.
But you follow the ones you don't understand because the ones you do understand make sense, and you believe that the guy who created them knows what he's doing.
Of course.
So, you will trust my diagnosis, and you'll let me treat her, because in this temple, I am Dr. Yahweh.
I want a new doctor.
Starting her an indomethacin for the cryoglobulinemia.
People don't change. For example, I'm gonna keep repeating, people don't change.
So alcoholics that successfully go through treatment don't exist.
They're still alcoholics. They never take a drink as long as they live, as long as they didn't live long enough.
If you're dissatisfied with your life, changing it is a symptom of mental health. I get why that concept is strange to you.
O2 stats are 85. She's hypoxic. We might need to intubate.
What's wrong with her?
Well, it's definitely not cryoglobulinemia.
Better ask him.
We kept her on oxygen overnight. Her respiratory rate stabilized and her OSAT's back up to 95. Saw Amber drop off Wilson this morning.
Yes, the male always drives the female. So what caused the breathing problem?
Pulmonary involvement rules out porphyria.
She kiss him or he kiss her.
I missed it. The lab tech with the tongue stud also pulled up.
Wegner's would explain her elevated SED rate.
Wegner's wouldn't explain the changed mental status.
Actually, we've been trying to ignore that part of the whiteboard.
I wrote it in black. I'm always serious when I use black. Lupus would explain...
Maybe she didn't change.
Are you agreeing with me or are you making a point?
I'm making a point.
It's gonna take longer.
How do we know that the real Roz isn't who she is now and who she was then? Can't we say that her previous life was true without making her present one a fraud?
Life is messy argument. Nice. Explains everything without explaining anything. If it's lupus, there's a heart problem we don't know about yet. Run her through a stress test. If she has a heart attack, I'm right.
Or we could wait, hope that...
You're afraid to give her a heart attack.
Of course we're afraid.
No reason to be afraid. Unless you think I'm right.
It's Wegner's. But we'll have the crash cart just in case. I need you to go faster, Roz. A little harder.
I am going harder, damn it.
What if Dr. House was right? And Roz did make a radical change.
Lupus is chronic but treatable.
And with the treatment, it'd undo the change. She'll be the way she was before I knew her?
I don't think it's likely.
And you don't know for sure.
You'd find someone else.
There isn't someone else.
You've had 3 dates.
How long have you been married?
12 years.
And is she the one?
We wouldn't still be together if she weren't. I love her as much now as the day.
Oh, you should love her more. The more you know someone, the more you should love them.
Okay, that's enough, Roz. Your heart's as strong as a battleship.
Does this mean Dr. House was wrong?
Oh, my leg. Oh, oh, ah.
Heart's strong enough to prove you wrong about the change in mental status.
Only proves this isn't lupus, just as the leg pain proves it isn't Wagner's.
Leg pain can be from nerve entrapment. I'm thinking blood clot.
Do an MRI to look for the clot. And do an fMRI.
An MRI alone will detect
The clot hasn't dissolved. fMRI could show signs of near ischemic stroke and post-ischemic parts of the brain. Give me $10.
No,
I missed lunch.
I thought you went out.
I missed lunch.
Good symmetrical activity in both hemispheres.
Caudal structures look okay. She hasn't changed. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, the 600 rules of God are all in there somewhere.
We oversimplify people. It's how the human mind works. Everything's on or off. Everything's got a category.
You don't like it. You don't want to be oversimplified. Roz, move your right leg.
No one can describe themselves in 10 words. Why would we want to hear anyone else do it?
So you keep it a mystery. No categories if no one knows anything.
Do you think maybe you're oversimplifying me now?
No. I'm sure you have many reasons to keep yourself a mystery, besides the fact that you're bisexual. Denial would have worked before the long vacant stare. Roz, move your left leg just an inch. People who have a problem with boxes are people who don't fit in them.
You've been working for House for a long time.
No need for name calling.
I would ask if this was going to be lunchtime gossip, but lucky for me.
I don't give a damn.
How's our mental yentl?
MRI shows no sign of clots. fMRI shows no problem areas.
They'll restart her IV.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing. But like so many procedures we put patients through, it hurts. Which, if she's enjoying it, will show up in pretty colors.
This is why you wanted an fMRI?
It showed she didn't have a blood clot, which is diagnostically relevant. And it can show that she's become a masochist, also diagnostically relevant. And it'll be cool. Either explain which part of my analysis that makes sense, or go do it.
It isn't cool. Sorry.
Heavens. Look at her limbic system. Pleasure centers lighting up like a Hanukkah bush. Foreman must have a touch like an elephant.
Okay, Roz, we've got what we need.
Yes, it was impressive.
Roz, you all right?
Sorry, I was praying.
All through the procedure?
No, when Dr. Foreman apologized, I knew something bad was gonna happen.
She was praying. Could explain the brain activity.
BP and heart rate are dropping. She's crashing. She's stabilizing.
Get her up. All the way up, on her feet. Make her do that again.